Good morning, one and all. Dear students, already we can be discussed about in the next second chapter acid, bases and salt, is it? So like that, we have to the next we can be study about the metals and non-metals. So you know that in nature we can be seen in the various type of the elements we can be seen that one. So nearly 118 elements are there. So 92 elements are we can be called as the natural elements. So remaining we can be called as that is we can be called as the artificial elements, is it? So in 9th standard you already studied about what is the meaning of elements, compounds and also mixtures. So elements means here, so which cannot be further divisible, so they will be made up of the same kind of the material, then we can be called as the what? Elements. So they will be made up of same element, maybe it will be taken down the carbon, oxygen, or you can be taken down the any type of the elements you can be taken down, sodium, magnesium, calcium, any type of the elements you can be taken down. So they can be made up of the same kind of the molecules, that is we can be called as the elements. So like that, mixture means it is the not definite ratio, it can be combined with the any ratio of the elements, that is we can be called as the compounds. So the mixtures like that. Compound means when two or more elements are combined together in the combined in the form of the definite ratio, then we can be called as what? Compounds. So why you can be study about these metals and non-metals? So what are the characteristics of the metals and non-metals? So here today we can be discuss about these in metals and non-metals, and how can be the extraction of the metals in nature. What are the uses in our daily life also? So what are the properties, physical properties or chemical properties of these metals? How can we use, we can be depend upon these metals. All these we can be discussed in this session. So first of all, so you can look at this picture. So some of the elements you can be seen here. Some black color coating you can be seen here. So some of should be the color should be yellow color, some should be the red color. So some should be the different varieties of colors you can be seen. Is it? So what is the meaning of these metals and non-metals you can be studied? So first one is, first we can be discuss about the introductions. So what is the meaning of metals and non-metals? So what are the objectives of the study of these metals and non-metals? What are the physical properties? So not today we will discuss about the chemical properties, only physical properties of the metals and also non-metals. What is the meaning of conductivity? What is the meaning of ductility? Hardness, luster, malleability means what? What is the meaning of physical state? Sonorous meaning what? So all this we can be discussed on this one. So before you can we go to the what is the meaning of metals and non-metals means. So look at the picture here. So maybe you have to know that silver, gold, that they have to the very high cost in our daily life. Is it? A metal means it is a one of the element. So metal means what? It is the one of the element which can be characterized by the maybe they have to the hardness and also opacity, shiny surface. So metals means they have to the hardness, opacity, and also they have to the shiny surface also. When elements of one metal combine with the other elements, they become compounds. I already tell you about compound means the elements of one metal combine with the another elements, they can be called as a compound. So compound means when two or more elements are combined together, then it can be called as a compound. For example, carbon is reacted with the oxygen, they can be give rise to carbon dioxide. Here carbon dioxide we can be called as the compound. Like that, hydrogen and also oxygen, they can be combined together, then we can be give to the water. So like metals are generally good conductor of heat and electricity. If you take the any metals, so generally we can be we can be used to the copper, is it? So the copper metals we can be used to that one. That is the easy conducting of the heat and electricity also. A non-metal is an element or compound that lack of attribute of metals. So non-metal is also one of the element, but they are the compound that lacks of attribute of metals. So they can easily easily distinguish about the which is the metal and also non-metal also it can be discussed. So what are the main objectives of we can be studied here means, first of all, in this chapter you can be study about the what are the physical properties of metals and non-metals, what are the chemical properties of metals. In chemical properties, first we can be study about the reaction with oxygen. What happens when the reacted with the oxygen, reaction with water, reaction with acids, reaction with salt solutions. So what is the meaning of reactivity series? We can discuss this one. Next one is under chemical properties of non-metals. We can be discussed about the reaction of metals and non-metals. When reacted with the metals with the non-metals, what happens? We can be discussed that one. Under that one, you can be discussed about the only properties of ionic compounds. So we can be study about. So next in carbon and these compounds, you can be study about the covalent bonds. You can be study about that one. Sixthly, we can be discussed about the occurrence of metals. How can be the extraction of metals? What is the meaning of corrosions? All this we can be discussed in this chapter. So first we can discuss about the what are the physical properties of metals and non-metals. If you come across the metals and non-metals can be differentiated based on their physical properties, which are the following. So physical properties means we can be easily seen. So which can be we can be easily seen. We can be feel that one. That is we can be called as the physical properties. So first of all, almost all metals should be very hard. So they are very hard in nature. So their metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. So here they can be given to the two metals. One is iron, another one is the copper. They can be given to that one. So you know that the electric circuit you can be connected with these metals. So maybe you can take on the iron or copper. So this connected to the 1.5 volt of the battery. Again it is connected to the one bulb. Another end is connected to the another metals. So when this current should be flow on the circuit, the bulb should be also glow. So in this activity we can be called as the metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity. They can be easily passed through the heat and electricity. In our home, it can be seen in the whatever it can be used to copper wire. So there is the main example of the we can be used in the wires because of the they conduct the good electricity and also heat. So compare the non-metals. So non-metals are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. So see here they can be given to the coal. So coal is one of the allotropy of the carbon. So and also graphite, sulfur. These are all non-metals we can be called. Coal and graphite is the form of the allotropy of the carbon, and also given to another example should be sulfur. Graphite is an exception, is a good conductor of heat and electricity. In non-metals, except graphite, so almost they are bad conductor of heat and electricity. So non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. So see here. Here the example should be given to the fine ceramics. So ceramics is the one of the non-metals, and also they can be connected to the one of the electricity bulb. So here what happens is current should be switch on when the bulb does not glow because current should be blocked here in this metal. So in this, so therefore in this activity you can be tell about the non-metals are the poor conductor of heat and electricity. So next one is ductility. Ductility means what? So metals which can be drawn into the wires. So you see, you already seen that one. At home you can be seen in the wires, is it? So that is made up of some copper wire, aluminium wires. So the metals which can be converted into wires. So wires, and also yes, they are called as said to be ductile in nature. Maybe we can be used to the aluminium, copper, and also there will be bundle of wires, is it? So this type of the property of the metals we can be called as the ductility. It means the metals which can be drawn into the wires, that is we can be called as the ductility. So compared to the non-metals, they are the brittle in nature. So metals are the very hard but in the non-metals they are the brittle, so it can be easily brokenable. So and hence they cannot be drawn into the any wires. So it cannot be converted into wires. So hence we can be telling about the non-metals are we cannot be ductile. So they do not have any ductile property. So here examples should be given to the phosphorus, red phosphorus they can be given, and also sulfur also they can be given. So coming to the next point, hardness. All metals are hard. So you know that all metals are very, beginning also you can tell about that one. All metals are very hard. Sodium and potassium are exception. So sodium and potassium should be very smooth metals. You can tell about that one. So as they are soft and they can be cut with a knife. So here look at the picture here. So sodium and also potassium. So we can be easily cut into knife also. Hence except sodium and potassium, almost all metals should be very hard in nature. See, most non-metals are soft. Almost non-metals should be, we can be called as the soft. Either the phosphorus, sulfur, carbon, coal. These are all we can be called as the non-metals which are the soft in nature, except diamond. So diamond is also allotropy of the carbon. Yes, we can be called as the diamond is exception as they are the hardest metals found on the earth. However, they are also very brittle and break the structure of the hammer. So we can be use the hammer. They can be easily brokenable and also they will be cut into small pieces or they can be converted into powder form also. Coming to the next point, luster. So luster means what? So if you observe the iron, so few days or so new iron whatever there, so they can be exposed to the sunlight, water or humidity. So what happens is they will be slowly consuming the iron. Is it? They will be rust should be produced into that one. That is it can be called as the lusters. So for example, gold should be, they will be change their color. And also silver also they can be converted into blackish color. Sometimes when the humidity or temperature should be very long exposure to the such metals, they can be shine should be changed. They will be corrosion should be started. That is we can be called as the lusters. So metals are lustrous, which means they reflect light from their surface. So metals are lustrous means they can be, when the light should be passed on that one, they can be again they can be reflect to that one. That is we can be luster in nature. So look at the non-metals. So they are the black color. So generally they have called as the generally dull and do not reflect any light. So they do not have any shiny surface. So shining means when the light should be fall on any object, they can be twinkling to that one. So that is we can be called as a shiny surface. But non-metals are generally dull and do not reflect any light. So for example, we can be called as a coal and also sulfur also. Coal, look at the picture here, coal and also sulfur. These are the non-metals. So graphite also, iodine. So these are all we can be called as the generally dull and do not reflect any light. Graphite and iodine are the exception as they are lustrous in nature. So except graphite and iodine, so they are some shiny in the nature. So these two except almost non-metal should be a luster in nature, generally dull and not reflect any light. Next one is malleability. Malleability means we already discussed about the ductility. When metals we can be drawn into the wires, such we can be called as a ductility. Like that, malleability means the metals which are malleable, which means that they can be beaten into thin sheet. So the metals which can be converted into thin sheet, that is we can be called as a what? Malleability. Example we can be tell about that one, silver or aluminium. So maybe the example they can be given to the phosphorus is one of the non-metals. So yes, silver sheet and also aluminium also can be converted into sheet, aluminium sheet, silver sheet. So the like that iron sheet also can be converted to that one. The metals which can be converted into sheet, that is we can be called as the malleability. So generally the non-metals are not malleable. So So because in this type of the powder form, how can be converted into sheet? Is it? So non-metals are the non-malleable as they break easily because they can be easily breakable and also they cannot be pounded with a sheet. So we cannot be converted into sheets. Yes, it is also one of the characteristics of the physical characteristics of the metals with a non-metals. So malleability means the metals which can be converted into thin sheets, that is we can be called as the malleability. Next one is physical state. So physical state means almost all metals, most of the metals should be remains in the solid at room temperature. Room temperature means ordinary temperature, whatever you can be called that one, that is we can be called as the room temperature. It means mercury and gallium, so they are the exception, they are the liquid at room temperature. So in metals, mercury and gallium should be the liquid, so they have to be the liquid. So hydrogen should be, mercury should be also sometimes they will be converted into some of the pebbles type also we can be seen to that one, but they have to generally have the liquid state. So almost all metals should be a solid in nature. Most non-metals exist in the 2 or 3 states of the matter of the room temperature. So for example, if you take the bromine, so most of the non-metals they exist in the 2 or 3 state of the matter, means either they will be solid state, liquid state or gaseous state. So for example, here given to the bromine, it should be act like a solid also, and also when we should be heat should be supplied to that one, they can be converted into liquid. Again further we can be heated to that one, they can be converted into gaseous form also. So for example, bromine is also solid. Gases we can be seen in the non-metals, means that is the example should be oxygen. Solid, for example, carbon. So there will be 3 forms also we can be seen. But in metals we cannot be seen in any type of the gases. But in the gases we can be seen in the oxygen form, there will be gases form. Solid should be for example of the carbon also. So sonorous means they will be making of sound. So for example, if you see the bells, they will be ringing sound, is it? So they will be produce some type of the sound. We can be touched to that one. So that is the we can be called as the metals should be produce ringing sound when they are struck, and hence they are said to be sonorous. So sonorous means the metals which can be produce ringing sound when they are struck, and hence they are said to be sonorous. So you look at the picture here, the bells which can be touched that one, they produce some type of the ringing sound to hearing. So except mercury. So mercury we cannot be sonorous sound. So iron also they can be produce some type of the sound, and also mercury, except copper also. So they will be produce some type of the sound also. Yes, it can be called as the metals should be also produce some type of the sonorous sound. Non-metals are not sonorous. So look at the picture here. For example, they can be taken down the bromine or sulfur. So they can be tied that one, and also they can be see this picture. So they cannot be any type of the sound. So they can be ringing also. They cannot be produce any type of the sound. Maybe example should be graphite or phosphorus. So we cannot be touch with each other. They cannot be produce any type of the sound. So they do not produce any physical metallic sound when they are struck, for example graphite, phosphorus, etc. So non-sonorous means they do not produce any type of the typical metallic sound when they are struck. That is we can be called as the what? Non-sonorous sound. So first question, so some revised question of the between the metals and non-metals. The liquid metal at room temperature. So which is the liquid metal at room temperature means, so generally it can be called as the mercury, is it? So the correct answer should be mercury. So next second one, which of the following metals can be cut with a knife? So you already studied about two. So they can be given to the combination sodium and mercury, barium and calcium, sodium and potassium, potassium and calcium. The correct answer should be sodium and potassium, is it? Next question. Which of the following non-metal is a good conductor of electricity? Here example should be good conductor of the electricity, which is non-metal means here bromine, phosphorus, hydrogen and graphite. The correct answer should be what? Graphite, is it? So lastly, last question in this session can be discussed the property of metals which way they can be beaten into thin sheet, we can be called as malleable, is it? So they can be given as to ductility, malleability, conduction, expansion. The correct answer should be malleability, yes. So this is the brief explanation you can be study about what are the physical properties of metals and also non-metals. Next class we can be discussed about what are the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Thank you and all.